Well, first of all, billionaires are the marginalized minority.
No, just give me an understanding of what you think is
Exactly what you just
socialism
said.
is.
Exactly what you said. Exactly what you just said.
That's
What you just
liberalism.
ranted off.
That's not
Okay.
socialism. Okay, why do you support Donald Trump?
Just because I feel that he's like a role model for a lot of people. I think he's a good businessman, even though he's a little crass sometimes.
Okay, so you think he's a good role model, even though he's held civilly liable of abusing a woman. He denied the election results in 2020 with no evidence. He pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers. He said he was glad Rob Reiner and Robert Mueller died. He called for the execution of some Democrats because they said to follow the law and to not follow unlawful orders. And I mean, even when it comes to being a business person, I mean, he had 6 bankruptcies. He inherited $400 million from his dad. I mean, if you inherited 400 million, I'd bet you'd be very rich too.
Yeah, he had I guess a step forward in life. So, but that you can't hate him. Would you hate him? He was born into.
Okay, I'm not saying I hate him, but you're saying that you look at him as like a good business person. I'm saying if he was already given a bunch of money, it's very easy to be a good business person with a lot of money because everyone else can't engage in the same investments you can. So proportionally, the type of investment that you're going to have access to is proportionally going to allow for you to make more money.
Theoretically, yeah, you do have a head start, but that doesn't stop anyone from making that kind of money, especially from the ground up.
But
I
think
mean,
about what
you
percentage of
should.
people can make economic trades like individuals that have that pre-existing capital. It's a very small
Well, that
portion of
would be
people. So it increases your
yeah,
field of view of profitable investments. Okay, if it increases your
right,
field of view
but
of profitable investments just by having that much money going into everything, well, then obviously you're going to have a greater likelihood of being able to extend that wealth beyond that.
yeah, that's how numbers work. But again, a small percentage of the people don't take the initiative to do it in the first place. So,
This wasn't
every
his
shot that's
initiative.
not.
It was his inheritance.
Well, no, it was a combination of both.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, he
It like the
it didn't
original the
just.
original stuff that he inherited was straight up just inheritance. That's not something that he put initiative into getting. It's something that he inherited himself just by
Well, that was
where
just
he
a
was
catalyst.
born.
That's just a prime to pump. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, right? So it doesn't really matter as long as you start.
Okay, but if he gets a golden spawning point where he's ahead of everyone by hundreds of millions of dollars, I think that's a pretty important thing to acknowledge when you're trying to say that he's such a good business person, that he's a good role model.
Right.
When you're overlooking the
Okay.
fact that he had all of these horrible personality characteristics and policy decisions that have made this country worse off. Like you're overlooking all of those things simply because you think that he's a favorable business person, even when that's not even very true. He's just in his corruption arc.
Oh, so you're telling me you don't feel safe the way things are being run right now?
I mean, he's
Thank you so much
actively,
for the
literally
$5
making
cash app.
money from the position of presidency. He's locked over like thousands of trades from the position of presidency. He's dropped a meme coin and rug pulled it. He's increased the valuation of his Truth Social stock by literally
Hold
doing
on.
presidential national addresses from social media on his own social media that he then makes money from. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
engaging incredibly corrupt behavior, making money
Yeah.
from being
Okay.
president while being president.
Okay. So the people that subscribe and fall into that bait trap are the ones that are supposed to be laughed at and ridiculed. And these are not people that support him. These are people that are trying to profit from his name.
Oftentimes they are people who support him. I would
I
say
mean,
most
just
people, it's
because,
people that support him.
okay, but even if you don't support him, you can still profit from his name.
But like, why would you want to if you don't
I
support
don't
him?
know. Ask yourself that question.
I'm not
Thank you
profiting
for the
from
cash app.
Trump. I'm profiting in conversating about why you shouldn't support him. Right? That's due to the fact that I'm having a conversation about politics. That's going to happen regardless of whether or not Trump's the person.
Yeah, but you would make more money that if you had Trump in your title than if you had Kamala Harris in your title. We could test this if you want.
Because I think Kamala Harris is preferable to Trump. That makes no
Let's say
sense.
you did.
So I'm
Why do you
looking for Trump
support?
supporters. Obviously, if I just only talk to liberals and this was like an echo chamber, less people would listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would not support you as well, and
No, it's just it would have gotten out to less people in the very first place. I don't know what your point is with that.
less people. The majority of the people are moderate, not even liberal or conservative.
What's
There's
your
a
point?
growing middle class. So what's my point? My point is that you're wrong. The way that you're looking at it is wrong.
About what specifically?
Okay. Well, first of all, billionaires are the marginalized. There's
You are
less
fucking
billionaires.
insane. You're actually
How
nuts.
is that? Do the math.
You think billionaires are marginalized? You're embarrassing yourself. What the fuck are you talking about?
Billionaires are okay. Think about it.
Do you even know what
If
that
you're a
means? The statement that you just made? Can you explain to me how billionaires are being marginalized?
yeah, I mean, if you're a billionaire, you got to walk around with security, look over your shoulder, can't even sleep at night. Well, because you have all these problems that you can't just keep throwing money at all day. It's
I mean, you're
crazy.
literally a billionaire. You can throw money at your problems all day. What the f are you talking about?
Yeah,
They're
but
a
they don't go.
billionaire.
But they
What the hell are
don't
you
go.
saying?
But they don't
You're saying
go
that they don't
right.
have the
It's never
capacity to
ending.
throw money at like basically every problem at their life? They're
Real
literally a
wealth
billionaire.
is with.
You've got to be trolling,
Yeah,
dude.
but
You're like, oh my god, care about the poor billionaires. We need them to get more tax breaks so that they can have lower effective tax rates in the working class, so they can profit at the
okay.
misery, right, of individuals that are in
Yeah,
need.
but that's all trickled down economy in the first place.
That's
Money's going to
trickle down
rotate
is
regardless.
historically not worked. The only way that you're actually going to force them to pass down money to their employees is by saying you're going to get taxed on it if you don't do it. That's why top marginal tax rates being increased is actually
That's not
beneficial
right.
for being able to increase wages.
That is the weirdest way to look at things. It's so off-putting. Think about it. No
Okay, tell me how it's
taxes,
off-putting.
right? Then you can't spread the wealth. Then you won't have lazy living off of the
Okay,
social,
you've got to be trolling.
systems and programs that are in place. Okay, for example, welfare is not supposed to be a crutch. It's not supposed to be a handout. It's supposed to be a hand up. I'm sure you heard these cliches before,
Okay,
but
you
you have
understand that
generational debt.
social welfare that exists is meant to be a safety net for people. That if it is the case that like something happens to you, that you're going to have society ensure that you're going to be okay. But we
Yeah, but
also
that's not
want to
always the
build up
case.
people where they can take care of themselves as well. And I think people themselves typically want to do that as well. What are you talking
You
about?
have generations that are on these support systems that never get off.
So, and again, you're saying that like people stay on support systems, they never get off of these support systems, right? Actually, it's typically the case that people do get off of these support systems. So, what source do you have to say that typically people stay on
Oh,
them?
see, okay, I don't have the source here in front of me, but I'm sure that the minute that the government tries to pull one of these, support systems away, that's when it becomes
Yeah, and
because
like
that's
that's
a
exactly what they
crutch.
did through the big beautiful bill to give massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. Because you think
Right.
billionaires are being quote unquote marginalized and you want to give them tax breaks, right? You understand that you're making the society worse off for people who literally are in need and need access to healthcare, childcare, food for their children. 420,000 kids cut off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month through the big beautiful bill. You know
And
that, right?
you're implying that this is an inherent right in the
That what's an inherent right in the Constitution?
that we should have free health care, free housing, free food for everyone.
No, I'm saying that this is what we should do
That's
to care for our fellow Americans. I'm not even saying that the Constitution necessarily like establishes that we ought to provide health care for other people. That's not even what I'm establishing. Right now, it's within the framework of the Constitution. It's something that we can do, and the Constitution doesn't prevent you from doing. But it's something that I'm
well,
saying that we should do because we care about our fellow Americans and we want society to be better off for every single kid that's going to exist in the future because that's going to ensure that your children's children and their children's children are going to be treated better off in society because you won't be there to ensure it. Okay, so that's all I'm saying is we want a better society for everyone, which will positively impact your family generationally. Okay, this is about making and ensuring generationally that everyone in this country is treated better.
Cash out. Yeah, so that's a
Wow,
little
so
bit
dishonest.
Marxist.
You want to actually engage in the conversation?
No, but that's socialist. I mean, if you're a
Can you
socialist,
define
and that's what you,
socialism?
yeah, I can define socialism. You want me to read it out of the Webster Dictionary for you? I will.
Now just tell me how you're using the term socialism.
Okay, where exactly what you described.
No, just give me an understanding of what you think is
Exactly what you just
socialism
said.
is.
Exactly what you said. Exactly what you just said.
That's
What you just
liberalism.
ranted off.
That's not socialism.
Okay, liberalism. Okay, liberalism is very
They cut out.
close to socialism, but you're
No.
leaning real extreme liberal. Can there be an extreme liberal?
What do you mean by
So you're
extreme?
technically a
Yeah,
libertarian,
I'm a radical liberal, sure, if you want to call me
a
that.
radical liberal, right? And that's what we need to be afraid of. People that are
Why? Why?
radical
What's so scary about?
takes things to the extreme. I mean,
Okay, so what's so extreme about my view? that people should have health care, child care, that kids should be taken care of, that your family is going to be insured, that they're not going to go into massive levels of medical debt just because they maybe got cancer, right? That we're
Okay,
going to have preventative health
here's the
care for
thing.
all Americans because I want better health outcomes for everyone in this country, that people in this country are treated with more dignity, that we're going to provide more humanitarian relief to Americans, ensure that they have more
And
opportunities in their life and education.
I agree with you, but this is again Martin Luther King had a dream situation. Is it possible if no one's working? Someone's got
People
to
are
pay.
working.
Yeah, and then there's more people taking. I mean, it
No,
doesn't.
actually,
One plus
more
one doesn't
people,
equal
more
two. Then.
people are work. Most people are working. You know that, right?
Oh,
And the
under
people who are
Trump's
taking
government
disproportionately are like retired, bro, on Social Security and Medicare.
that are putting into it, yeah, the
Yeah,
whole thing
of
is
course they
bound to
put into the
collapse.
system
It's not if
exactly.
it's
That's
like,
my point.
yeah, but again, there's more people taking from the system than they're putting in.
That's just not true.
Then how is the system collapsing?
How
It's
is this?
imploding, actually.
What's collapsing?
Social Security. I may not see it. You'll definitely not see it.
So that's just because we need to increase the threshold for Social Security to ensure that the funding can the taxes can continue to stay there for income above like 120,000 or something. Like it cuts off at that
Okay,
specific amount, and we can adjust that for
if that
inflation or whatever if we want to do whatever,
okay,
and
if
that will
if
allow for
that's
more
the
revenue to
case,
go in. We just need a better tax revenue system for it. Also, we need to subvert the
right?
funding through having a system that is funded through investments. So, like a sovereign welfare fund that is supposed to be for every single person in this country, and we're gonna put like a bunch of money into investments every single year for all of the children, and it's going to be a broader idea of the kind of the Trump account that Trump was trying to do, but it's nowhere near enough to actually subvert the funding of Social Security. But throughout time, through 65 years or so, we'd be able to subvert the funding in a significantly more cost-effective way. Like right now, around $30 billion would fund around $7,000 to $10,000 for every single kid into an account like that, which will then grow to be over $1 million by the time they're 65 years old. That's the level of growth potential that we have for these different types of wealth funds that we should be utilizing, because investments in things with ROI are significantly more effective for being able to fund things that people need, comparative to just like we're just going to get a tax bill as soon as we're going to pay for it. I think it's just more effective to do it that way, is to ensure it through some sort of investment fund and to ensure that we have some notion of ROI that we can utilize for the people.
Okay. And that sounds great on paper, but that would imply that the tax code needs to be flat, so everyone is equal, and not a
Wrong. It
bell
does not.
curve.
It does not imply that. I don't know what
Well,
about what I just said
how's
implies
then?
that. Can you tell me what about what I just said
Well,
implies that?
it's not an even playing field. Then it's you know, you're not going to want to tax the poor. You're not going to want to tax the rich.
Well,
So
I think that a
where's the money
progressive
going to
tax
come from?
structure is a more fair structure, because I don't think that I think that if we based it on flat tax, that proportionally you're taking more from those that are in need because of the fact that they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods and things that they need for cost of living. So since that makes a smaller proportion of someone who's very, very high incomes overall income, it makes more sense that we'd be able to tax that person a higher percentage
I
because
don't know.
they're going to have more disposable income, and it won't affect their quality of life as much.
That I don't. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, you might spend more, but proportionally as a percentage of your income, it's less. So I mean, I can show you, but I mean that was obvious. When you talk about
No, show me. I
proportions,
want to.
like someone who's higher
Yeah.
income, they're not going to have to spend as much of their money in order to pay for rent or to pay for food or to pay for things that they need in their life, comparative to someone who's lower income. Like food,
Correct. So that's
gas,
the
and
actual
everything makes up a
problem.
greater percentage of their income. That's obvious.
So that's the root right there. So people are living above their means, have no money
No, it's
until they
not
get
living
to a
above your
certain
means.
level.
It's not being paid enough to ensure that you have your access to basic necessities.
Prove it wrong.
What do you
How
mean?
do you
Oh,
justify
you have a weird
what
picture
you're
of that. You
saying?
have a weird video of Epstein. What the is wrong? Like, why do people troll and like make jokes like about that? It's so weird, bro. Like they think it's funny to like glamorize Epstein. It's so weird.